Greetings everybody, it's Amy from Amy Bachman Sew and Quilt in Cranberry Township, PA. Hey, I'm here today. I'm going to show you how cool these Janome apps work. I have my S9 over my shoulder because my 15,000 is in for a spa treatment. She really needed a spa treatment. So I'm going to have a little project here. I'm working on these cute little critter panels from Quilting Treasures, and I'm down to making his vest, and I thought his vest looked kind of plain, so I'm going to show you how to use Accu Sketch to dress up these little pieces. So I'm creating a quilting design or an embroidery design, whatever you want to call it, to fit the piece perfectly, send it wirelessly to my machine, and with perfect placement. So let me show you how we're going to get started. So I have the piece. I traced a piece that was the same size just to kind of do a test. And so I'm going to open up my Accu Sketch, right? And it's going to ask me to take a picture. Let's take a photo. Oops, going the wrong way. Pfft. Yeah, I'd run if I were you guys. Okay, so I have my piece and my hoop. So I'm just going to lay this on top, just like this. Just take a picture. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to move my hoop off to the side. Now I already chose the hoop that I'm going to be using for my Janome. So I'm going to say I'm going to use this photo, and what I want to do is I want to kind of pinch and pull to make sure it is exactly pretty close to the right size of my pattern, and looks great. So I'm going to say I'm done. Now it's going to send it over to the point. I'm going to choose my pencil. Now I've updated my app and I paid $3.99 in order to get a triple stitch, a zigzag, a straight stitch, and a little more stitches. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw this just inside. And this is just so you can see how accurate this is. Now what I want to do, I am not the drawer or the long arm quilter, but I can take this and create any kind of quilting design I want to use, or if the fabric had a pattern, I could follow the pattern. But you're only going to get portions of this, or we'll be here all day. And so what's also nice, I dropped right there. I can go back and take my eraser and get rid of anything I don't like, right? And then I pick up my pencil, you'll see the little dot jump on it, and it picks it up perfectly. So basically, just to get us through this demonstration, I'm just going to kind of make this crazy scribble. That is not what you want out of your Accu Sketch, but you get the idea. You can draw anything. So I'm going to hit stitch, and there it is. And I'm like, ooh, that's bad, but I'm going to send it anyway. So I'm going to choose send. I'm going to choose my S9, and I'm going to wake it up so you can come over here and you can see. I'm going to hit send. It's finding the machine as we speak. And my design should be popping up there any second. Okay, so I know my design's there. It tells me what size hoop I'm using. So now here's the cool part. Now that it's at the machine, I'm going to send it back to my iPad in my Accu Setter, which is going to help me with perfect placement. Okay, here's my Accu Setter app. So I'm going to choose my Accu Setter app. And you can see I have this little bee thing on here. It says receive design, and that means it's going to get it from my machine. Drops off a little honey pot. That's just an indicator to me that I know that the app has the design already. So what I'm doing is I'm just matching up little bees. He kind of locks into place. It tells me I'm level, but I have 4 corners, or I have multiple corners actually. And what this does is help me be placement. So when I touch these little orange buttons, it takes me to the middle so I can see exactly where to place them. So it just takes a second. Okay, and I'm going to say next. And there's my design. So look how perfect that is from the way I drew it to the way it ended up here back from the machine. But I have these red buttons that lets me fine tune it just a little bit. Left and right, up and down, I can rotate it. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna say next, and I'm gonna see send. And it's gonna send it back to the machine. And if I changed any of the orientation, it would show up here. If I actually changed an angle or a direction, something along those lines. Let me get locked in here. Okay, so the hoop is on, and you can see this is where I'm at. It tells me 1 color, 3 minutes, 700 stitches a minute. So here we go. Let's see how close everything lined up. And I just have this spray basted down. It's not really attached as well as I'd like it to be. So how cool is that? Now I can perfectly quilt little pieces, or maybe a whole quilt block if you had a larger hoop like in my 15,000. It just duplicated exactly what I created. So if you're a beautiful drawer, or you can bring in a graphic of a long arm design or a quilting design, you can go ahead and recreate that just in Accu Sketch with even tracing. So to me, that's a beautiful thing. You can see the little crosshatch moving right here. It's showing me it's going into that awful scribble that I made. So this is also part of the theory when you're working with electronics, you know, garbage in, garbage out. I have quite an interesting design here, but I wanted you to see how accurate it can be with the placement, with the test, and so why these apps are invaluable. And I will tell you, all of the Janome apps are free but one. But I will tell you, the new Skyline S9, the new 15,000, come with the app that's actually the editor. So this is amazing to me. So if you're interested in a Janome, you can come and see us. But if you already have the apps, how wonderful this is to actually use them. It just takes a minute to learn how easy it is to use all this great technology, because the more you know, the more you sew.